Dillian the Body Snatcher White here. It's a champ. Big up to Sporting Icon. Subscribe. Otherwise, I might pay you guys a visit.
So, Dillian Whyte versus Alexander Povetkin, July 13th at the O2 Arena pay-per-view. And this is what I'm fully expecting. In fact, I'm so confident in it. I really am. But before we get into the reasons why I'm confident of it, I was very confident of him having a particular fight once before, and then very last minute pulled Joseph Parker out of the hat. So I have been wrong before on this one, okay? So just to get that disclaimer out there. Now, I haven't spoken to Dillian, I haven't texted him or called him or anything. If I had, and if he told me, of course, yeah, I'm fine Povetkin or whatever, I wouldn't be making this video. Of course not. It's like a breach of trust, isn't it? I'm not paparazzi. I don't just do anything for a view. But I'm so confident that Dillian Whyte will take on Alexander Povetkin on July the 13th. And I'll tell you why. It was part of the agreement between Eddie Hearn and Andrei Rybinski for Alexander Povetkin to fight Anthony Joshua at Wembley and not take it to purse bid. Purely because, had it have gone to purse bid, Eddie Hearn would have got his backside handed to him by Andrei Rybinski, because Rybinski has so much money, it's unbelievable, okay? So there's no way he was ever going to beat him, and Joshua would have been forced to have gone to Russia. So they made an agreement that if Alexander Povetkin was to lose to Joshua, he will get a big fight next. Who is it that Eddie Hearn has got? Dillian Whyte. He's the biggest heavyweight that he's got, outside of Joshua, of course. So this is a fight that Eddie Hearn has been planning for quite some time. In fact, quite a long time now. Now, of course, we are still waiting on the WBC. They're supposed to have announced what they were doing as far as the WBC mandatory situation was with Dillian Whyte and potentially facing the winner of Wilder versus Brazil next. They're supposed to have announced this 2 weeks ago. These guys couldn't arrange a piss up in a brewery. They really can't with the WBC. I don't know why it would take that long. Surely it's one of those sit down around the table and you decide within 20 minutes. It's not that difficult. It's the right thing to do. Wilder has been champion 4 years. He's only had one mandatory. Therefore, he owes the WBC 3 more mandatories. 3 more. It's supposed to be 1 every year. Okay. Now, going back on to Povetkin, okay, with the reasoning that Eddie Hearn has already promised Alexander Povetkin and Andrei Rybinski that he will get him a big fight next, okay? So, as we know, with Luis Ortiz, this was a potential name for Dillian Whyte, but it's only really a potential one if the WBC make the ruling Dillian Whyte versus Luis Ortiz for the official mandatory to face the winner of Wilder versus Brazil. But since Big Baby Jarrell Miller popped for those 3 banned substances, then Luis Ortiz's name has been thrown into the hat. So Eddie Hearn is going to prioritise AJ's opponent over Dillian Whyte's, and probably rightfully so at this point, because only 6 weeks left until AJ fights, and Dillian Whyte fights July 13th. So there's still a little bit of time for Dillian Whyte. But if they can get the Luis Ortiz fight over the line, if the PBC will allow this fight to happen, because at the minute it seems like they're blocking it, but if they will allow this one, then who else is left? Alexander Povetkin, Dillian Whyte. Now, you could say, but Eddie Hearn, he was trying to make Alexander Usyk versus Povetkin, and you're absolutely correct, he was trying to make that fight. And Povetkin said no to this fight. The reason that he said no to it was because he just got knocked out by Anthony Joshua. He needed a tune-up before he went back into another big fight. Don't know about you guys, but I don't see Dillian Whyte as a tune-up. I have to be perfectly honest. You put Dillian Whyte in with Usyk, my money is on Dillian Whyte all day, every day. Okay? So I will be quite surprised from that standpoint if Povetkin does take the Dillian Whyte fight. So that's really the only kind of thing that's making me go, maybe I'm wrong on this one. That's the only thing that's making me think I might be wrong on this one. But anyway, I mean, that's my thoughts. As I said, Eddie Hearn has been trying to make Povetkin versus Dillian Whyte for quite some time now. He's been promising Povetkin a big fight. He tried to get him to fight Dillian Whyte. Then, of course, the whole WBC thing come along, with it being ordered that Whyte would face Dominic Brazil for the mandatory, which was great. So then Povetkin was offered to Usyk. Usyk said yeah, Povetkin said no. Then the Whyte versus Brazil fight fell through. Listen, Povetkin, guess what, mate? We've got Dillian Whyte for you. Headline, pay-per-view. We promised you, Andre Rybinski, with all your billions, can we still be friends? I'm delivering what I promised you. So this is a fight that Eddie Hearn wants. Not necessarily a fight that's really going to help Dillian as far as rankings goes. In fact, no fight is really going to help him, except if the WBC order a mandatory. They may order Dillian Whyte versus Povetkin as mandatory. They may well do that. But outside of that, it's just another learning fight for Dillian Whyte. That's all it is, because Dillian Whyte is still learning. He's not there yet. He really isn't, which is why he's improving every single fight and becoming an elite heavyweight now. But anyway, my prediction is Dillian Whyte versus Alexander Povetkin on July the 13th at the O2 Arena. That's my thoughts. You drop me yours, click thumbs up, and of course subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.